Okay, so this is the new season of the Bad Girls Club. Season 17 is supposedly the last season of this show. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was because the ratings of this shit has not been the best in a long motherfucking time now. But we're at season 17 and it's now East Coast versus West Coast. I thought that the shit was pretty lame, pretty late, pretty delayed at first because I'm like, okay, some Fox ass beef trying to get everybody separated for whatever reason, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I really wasn't for it at first, but after just trying to give it a chance because my supporters, they have been asking me to review Bad Girls Club for a long time, and I try to review it, but then not even finish the entire season because they annoy me so much, and I just don't like the shit that they stand for, like the jumping, the petty ass arguments, the shit like that. So that's why I just let Bad Girls Club loose for a while. I ain't really been into Bad Girls Club in a long time. The last time I really just reviewed a full season of Bad Girls Club was season 10. That's the very last time I did that with Valentina and them. So let's just go down the line of the girls. I'm gonna tell you what I feel about each one of them before I get into what actually happened. Well, as far as how I felt when I first met them. Well, when we first met them or whatever. I don't remember what coast all of them are in per se. I know some of them and what coast some of them in, but I'm gonna figure that out as I go along. Let me start off with Kiara. Kiara was cool when I first seen her on my screen. She was very cool to me. I think that she was nice. I feel like that'll be the type of girl that if I met her, I hang with her. You know what I'm saying? I hang around a lot of females, and she would probably be one that I would probably hang with. Kiana, I liked her too. She's a plus size girl. She's very cute in the face, and I like her. I like the way that her and Kiara kind of bonded from the very beginning. They kind of remind me. They trying to give me a little bit of Tiara and Stassi tease from the New Orleans season. That's what I'm kind of getting from it. So I like both of them when I first seen them. Susan didn't really care much for her. She's not really my favorite right now. She's not my least favorite. She's just there. So when I first met, I'm like, oh, okay, she's one of those little bougie ass white girls that they put on the show. Okay, whatever. So then we go to Francesca. She's probably the offbeat girl. Didn't really care for her. Didn't really dislike her either. She's just there, just like Susan. She's just there. I mean, not somebody that I'm looking forward to seeing. Sayora, she's also not my favorite. That's like the third person I named. They not even my real favorite. They just there. You know what I mean? Like there. No reason. They just here. Crickets. You know what I mean? Like no reason for me not to like them. That I'm just not really there for them. I guess. The Shayla. She's a lesbian. She keep it real from what I see, and I like her. I really do. Like I kind of felt her when I first seen her come on the screen. I like the Shayla. I think that she's cool. I think she'll be one of the ones that I probably gonna defend the most when the show really really goes on. And then Seven, I thought that she was cute. And she also gave me a banging personality. So I like them the most. These four, Kiana, Kiera, the Shayla and Seven, I like them the most. Susan and Francesca, they're just here. Sayora, she's just here too, but I kind of don't like her based on what's already going on the first episode. So let's just get into it. After all the girls that met each other, you know what I'm saying? Seven was the last girl to come in. Everybody, meeting and greeting and, just trying to get to know each other. And from the moment Susan opens up to Sayora, she tells this girl that she married. And, Susan ain't number 21 years old. So Sayora was like, you 21 and you're already married? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, well, are you faithful to him? And she was like, of course not. And then she was like, and I was sitting up here like, so how the hell you... She was like, does he know that you're not faithful? And I think she said no. And then I'm like, well, I guess he gonna know now when he watched this shit on TV. This is the shit I'm saying. Do y'all forget that the camera's there? Do y'all forget that y'all on reality TV? Your man gonna find out you a hoe sooner rather than later. So you might wanna just tell your nigga the truth before you bring your ass on national TV and tell everybody that you a fucking hoe. Basically, that's how I really feel. So Sayora, she goes and tells all the other girls that Susan is married. Basically tells all the other girls everything that Susan just told her about her marriage, about how she's not faithful to him, about how she's making love to somebody else, all sorts of stuff. And it pretty much rubs Kiara the wrong way because Susan felt comfortable enough to tell her that and confide in her. But at the same point in time, it's like, but Susan is a damn fool when she just met this girl to be telling her something like that anyway. Not saying that it's okay for Sayora to be walking around telling the girl business and, trying to scandalize her name a little bit. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, why would you even tell her that? Why would you tell her that? Because y'all really just met. So I wouldn't be telling nobody no secrets like that unless I was okay with that. You know what I mean? But she is okay with it. Apparently she okay with it. But these girls will use anything against you, and it looks like it's already happening. So the girls go out, they have a very good time, and then they come back. And then the next morning after the turn up, Susan is sleeping. So while, all the girls are sitting outside and her marriage is the topic of motherfucking discussion. And from what I'm looking at from Kiara is, you was just saying that you didn't like the fact that Sayora was going around talking about her marriage, but you got an opinion about it too. You was like, okay, it's one thing if it's boyfriend and girlfriend, but this is God. God is involved in this now. So you pretty much define God. Honestly, I do get what Kiara is saying. I do understand that because I feel the same way. I mean, it's one thing when you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, but it's another thing when you're married. And I feel like if you want to be community property, you don't need to be married to nobody. And that's what I felt like when Susan first, revealed that she was married and that she was out here sleeping with everybody else, even though she married. I feel like when you marry, you obviously want to be private property. But if you still want to be public property and public whatever, you don't need to be married. When you marry, your private property. You belong to somebody. Like, you're not supposed to be out here fucking around on somebody. That's why I say, like, whenever I'm really ready to get married, that's when I get married. If I know that I still want to be out here thotting and motherfucking bopping, then I'll be doing it. And I'm not going to get married to nobody unless I know that that's completely out of my motherfucking system. That's how I feel. But I just don't like how everybody got such an opinion on her marriage. But when you put your shit out there, everybody's going to form their opinion about it. You know what I mean? And Sayora's not really making it better by talking about it the way she is. So Kiana, Kiara, and Shayla, they discuss Sayora's bullshit. And Kiara has a big problem with Sayora and the way that she's going around telling everybody Susan's business. Now, I do feel like at one point I felt like, okay, Kiara, you say that you don't like the shit, but you out here discussing it with her. But at the same point in time, I do get what she's saying. Sayora is walking around just telling everybody that's willing to listen about her marriage. Like anything that Susan tells her, she tells the other girls, and she's making her look bad to the other girls. But the other girls should be woman enough and grown enough to form their own opinion about this girl, whether Sayora's telling her business or not. Because me personally, I wouldn't really give a fuck who's married, who's not married, who's fucking who's sucking who's doing this. Like, who really gives a fuck? As long as the person is cool, that's on them. Whatever they do in their leisure time ain't got a damn thing to do with Scotty. So then, that's when Shayla, Seven, and Kiara, while they're in the club, they warn Susan, you need to watch your back because you just met these girls, know these girls like that. You don't need to be divulging your personal business to these girls because these girls will run around and tell everybody all your motherfucking business, go behind your back, talk about you like a motherfucking dog. That's what would happen. So with that being said, they are giving her sound advice because, she is really telling her business. She's really telling her business, and she don't need to be telling nobody her business like that. But Susan told her own business. You just met this girl, and you want to tell her that you fucking everybody, even though you married. That ain't nothing you tell somebody. I wouldn't be telling nobody no shit like that. But that's just me. That's me. I'm just a private person. But even though I'm honest about my shit, I really wouldn't give a fuck. I'm not really that private, to be honest. But when it's around people I really don't know, I can't just sit up and... Once I get a feel of you, I tell you shit that I'm not afraid of telling. Like, I had to get used to being on camera before I divulged my life on here. So with that being said, Susan, you just really do need to watch your back. So after they leave the club, well, no. After that, Kiara and Sayora, they fighting over drawers. somebody put food in the drawers and everybody ain't put their clothes in there. So Kiara pretty much confronts her about it. But I do feel like when you don't like somebody, everything a person does would irritate you. And I feel like that's what the situation is with Kiara and Sayora. She's annoyed by the bitch. So therefore, because she's annoyed by the bitch, she gonna find any reason to come for the bitch just cause she annoyed by her. And I get it. I completely understand where she coming from. If I'm annoyed by somebody, and if I don't like you, everything you do annoys me. Shout out to my ex-boss. Everything you do is going to annoy me, from the way you turn the doorknob, to the way you chew your gum, to the way you eat, to the way you walk, to the way you look at me, to the way you talk, to just the way you grab your purse. Just everything about you annoys me when I don't like you and I have to be around you. You know what I mean? So I get it, but it was pretty petty and childish. So then they go to a club, and after they leave the club, they get on a bus, and everybody, Susan was like, I don't feel like you should be talking about my marriage. So that's when everybody puts Sayora on blast and say that she's the one that's telling everybody shit. And you know, Kiara was like, whatever we thought about you was because this bitch told us the shit. That's why we have an opinion about you. So Sayora goes off on Kiara, and Kiara, you can tell she's trying to keep her composure about the situation. So everybody gets off the bus, and then it becomes Sayora versus Kiara. Kiara is like, you know, Sayora is telling Susan what she supposedly said and supposedly did and trying to clear her name, but Kiara is saying that she's a damn lie. So then Susan comes in, and Kiara was telling her, you know, was talking to her, and then when Sayora comes in with her big mouth, when Kiara turns her back, she's trying to run up, but Kiana pushes her down and basically knocked the damn chest rubbed off her ass. So that's basically what happened with that. And she was like, you're not gonna run up on my friend when she turned her motherfucking back. That's what you're not gonna do. And I do understand that too, Kiana. Not gonna let anybody walk up on my friend when they got their back turned. But it's pretty clear that Kiara and Sayora is gonna have the biggest beef of the season. And I can't wait to see it. I like Kiara. I do. I don't agree with everything she's doing right now. I don't. But I do like her. So all in all, as of right now, I do like Kiana. I like Kiara. I like Seven, and I like the Shayla. Susan and Francesca is left to be desired. Sayora, she's leaning over to I don't like the bitch. That's what she's leaning over to. So with that being said, y'all, this is my review on Bad Girls Club Season 17, Episode 1. All of my social media and all of that stuff is at the bottom of the video. The next video you gonna see is Black Ink Crew, I think. Yeah, Black Ink Crew is the next one you're gonna see. And with that being said, y'all, I am out this bitch, and I hope y'all enjoy my video. I really do. And I'm out, y'all.